Track temperature, a very comfortable 112 degrees.
This is a top alcohol dragster tournament airing recently on ESPN. And this is the car of Aaron Tatum, a Moore resident competing and winning at the national level in the increasingly popular sport of drag racing.
Now, what brought you out here, Aaron? Why, after a successful career in divisions, decide to try the alcohol dragsters?
Well, the alcohol dragster, we've been watching it for about a year or so, but it's just an intriguing sport. I think the class has got a lot of power, a lot of speed. It's fun to be in control of that much power. Drag racing has probably been going on since the creation of the automobile. You know, the racing started with the horses, and I'm sure that carried on with the cars. But yeah, drag racing, it got its really kick in the 60s. Is where it really started being noticeable in the 70s, and today it's just become a very professional sport.
Tatum's not the only one from Moore big into drag racing. On any given race day at Thunder Valley Speedway in Noble, you'll likely find whole contingencies of racers from Moore.
It's amazing how many racers are from Moore. It truly is. And like Aaron said, I mean, you know that you know when you go to these big races and they know you're from Moore. I mean, they know you came to race. Moore's got some of the best racers around, always has. And now we've passed it on, like Aaron's children and my son Corey's. I mean, he's good.
I think at Moore we just have a lot of gearheads that took the responsibility to keep the racing off the streets to come down here at Thunder Valley. Once you start racing at Thunder Valley, then you want to start competing. Once you start competing on the local level here at Thunder Valley, some of us opt to go racing more on the national level.
Moore resident Tony Gray has accomplished a lot more than just being the best locally. He's taken his cars to notoriety as some of the fastest in their class, not just in Oklahoma, not just in the nation, but in the world.
Goes fast.
But like how fast?
This car runs 730s at 185. This car took 7th in the world in IHRA in the 890 index, and the Roadster took 6th in the world in 05. So we had two cars in the top 10 in 05 in the World Points Chase.
From Moore?
From Moore.
The cars themselves can take on a variety of different forms depending on the class, from the aero-like drag racer to the iconic funny cars.
Now this one here happens to have like a funny car body on it. I'll raise it up right quick. The motor here is about 1,000 horsepower motor is what we run in all these cars.
There are also the muscle car type vehicles like Joe Lytle's, which he's been racing since his days in high school.
This is a 1966 Chevelle. I bought it in '79, drove it to Moore High School, graduated in '80, been racing at the drag strip for 29 years, ever since. It's been back and forth over the 12th Street Bridge there in Moore back when we used to cruise 12th Street a million times, and then we started racing shortly after that.
Getting a taste for speed at tracks like Thunder Valley sent most of these semi-pro Moore racers on a journey into ever faster vehicles.
Dragsters are aerodynamically designed to where they have less wind drag and they're lighter. So with the same horsepower in this dragster opposed to a door car, this car is going to run a second faster. The dragsters are like driving an aero. The faster they go, the scarier it gets. But as long as you keep them straight, they're relatively simple to drive.
But they're certainly not simple vehicles.
This is the cockpit of our 1957 Corvette and super gas car. And it's pretty sophisticated. They've got high tech on us. They've gone into computers, and it's unbelievable amount of equipment we have on these cars to make them just go down the drag strip. Today we are competing down to hundreds and thousands of a second. I've lost races by 1/1000th of a second, and I've won by 1/1000th of a second. So it's gotten so competitive, and all the drivers have gotten so good with these computers on these cars that it's unbelievable. There are a lot of names coming out of Moore, Oklahoma that do well, not just show up and just are a contender, but actually do well. They're up in the points. They are in the top 10 in the points in their class. It's an addiction gone bad is what this is.